The new calendar for the state's high court is up and running with a few changes.
Newly elected Justice Susan Crawford sworn in today after one of the most expensive Supreme Court races in history. It's also the last year for conservative Justice Rebecca Bradley. On Friday, she announced she will not seek re-election, setting up another showdown for a seat on the Supreme Court next year. Also new this year, Joe Karofsky, the new Chief Justice, elected by the liberal majority court for the lead role.
Chief political reporter Charles Benson asked about her new responsibilities and the court's increasing task of refereeing high-profile cases.
Chief Justice Jill Karofsky is not one to kick back and take it easy. She likes challenges. She's finished ultramarathons and an Ironman, but an encounter with her golden retriever Lucky has slowed her down for now.
She has the energy of a puppy, and she ran headfirst and headlong into my shin. We're now finally back on talking terms.
Not the break Karofsky was looking for. She takes on the challenges of Chief Justice. Her goal, she said, is to ensure the court operates with fairness, transparency, and respect.
Well, I think as far as treating people respectfully, that's something I've tried to do my entire career.
Is there something that you see that will sort of define who you are as a Chief Justice in moving the court in that direction or making it more prominent?
I think that for one, it's how you treat individual people. I think for two, it's going back to what I said at the top. It's never forgetting that the cases that we handle impact real people in this state.
And then she made this comparison.
And I want to lead with empathy first. I want to lead with kindness first, which is a different way than, say, the president is leading, I would argue. That he is leading based on hate and based on divisiveness. And I'm not going to do that.
Do you see your role as being political as well, especially when you make comments like that about the president?
I see my role as doing the role of a justice of the Supreme Court, which is to give my attention to the cases that come before us, to look at the facts and to apply the law faithfully, to follow the rule of law.
She was part of the court's 4-3 liberal majority in the highly anticipated decision to strike down the state's 1849 abortion ban law, concluding the state's legislature had effectively replaced the ban decades earlier. But in Karofsky's concurring opinion, she highlights the history of 4 women who died as a result of states that restrict abortion care, including her own great-grandmother, writing, quote, "She took matters into her own hands and ultimately bled to death in a Boston hospital."
And I wrote about my own grandmother, who died because of very restrictive abortion laws over 100 years ago. So I think keeping in mind that real people are impacted by the work that we do.
So is the court more divided these days?
All rise!
More than a third of the court's decisions last session were unanimous. That closely mirrors the average over the past 10 years under conservative and now liberal-leaning courts. But look at the percentage of unanimous decisions, 65% from 1995 to 2005.
The court seems more divided now compared to then.
I see a lot of 7-0 decisions, and I see a couple of 7-0 decisions from this court that came down at the end of last term on issues that were of great statewide importance as far as how the government in the state was going to work.
And what keeps the Wisconsin native and single mom going?
My North Stars really are my 2 kids, Daphne and Danny, who have been absolute warriors in so many ways. And if I'm ever not sure which direction I should go, I think about what would be best for them.
And I asked the White House about Karofsky's criticism of the president. They responded, quote, "Wisconsinites voted to return President Trump to Washington to restore strength and leadership to the presidency." And they also specifically pointed out Trump's record on securing the border and cutting taxes. As for Karofsky, her rise to Chief Justice was pretty quick. She's only been at the Supreme Court 5 years.
Appreciate you giving us some insight into a relatively new member. Thanks so much, Charles.